Many Jews are familiar with the mitzvah of mezuzah. They're familiar with the mitzvah of listening to the shofar, the prohibition of speaking lashon hara. But how many people know of the mitzvah of lo tonu? In this week's Parshat, we are taught the mitzvah of lo tonu ish et amito. What that means is that a person shouldn't aggrieve his fellow man. This is a very wide and encompassing mitzvah. Not only does it include the prohibition of lashon hara, but even if it's not lashon hara, aggrieving your fellow man could be reminding him of his past misdeeds, things that he did at a time when he was not mature and no longer is part of that person's life, just doing hurtful things to another person. Stealing, we all know, is forbidden in the Torah. A person who's caught stealing in Jewish law would be required to pay back the money. There would even be a fine imposed to make sure that the person doesn't do it a second time. However, aggrieving your fellow man, hurting your fellow man cannot be repaid like money. Interesting to know that in this particular mitzvah, the Torah says, "V'yareitam Hashem Elokecha," you should fear Hashem, in the very same verse. We have many mitzvot in the Torah. We have 613 mitzvahs, 248 positive mitzvot, 365 negative mitzvot. And seldom does it say v'yareita, that you should fear Hashem. It's not written after every single one of the commandments in the Torah. The fact that the Torah goes to the length of stating these very serious words, v'yareita, you should fear Hashem, gives us an understanding of how important it is to make a real effort not to aggrieve our fellow man. Not every person has to be our best friend. That is the reality of life. Different people have different interests and different predispositions, and it's not possible that every person can be or should be your best friend. But there is a big difference between having a close friend, a person who's just an acquaintance, and overstepping the boundary to the point of lo tonu, where you aggrieve your fellow man. Take the opportunity of wishing you all a Shabbat Shalom, a very good Shabbos.